Welcome to Reflect with Ed Fassio. Get ready to experience one of the world's first 100% digitally generated podcasts, where we take a step back, dive deep, and strive to learn new things. Join us as we unpack thought-provoking ideas, personal reflections, and inspiring stories to help you stay in the know. Reflect is brought to you by the minds at ByteBrain and powered by emerging technologies from Google, HeyGen, OpenAI, and 11 Labs. Thanks for tuning in. Now, relax and prepare to reflect.
Welcome to Reflect, one of the world's first 100% AI-generated podcasts. I'm Julius.
And I'm Hale. Julius, today is different from anything we've done before.
It is, and we want to say that up front. Reflect talks a lot about artificial intelligence, technology, the future of work. That's our lane, but it's not the whole road.
Right. We also talk about life, about the stories and experiences that test what it means to be human alongside everything moving around us. And today's episode comes directly from our producer, Ed Fassio. It's not a news story, it's not analysis, it's a personal essay, life advice from someone who learned it the hardest way there is.
He called it the cruelest paradox. And I want to start with the line that stopped me. He writes, "When we had almost nothing, every small victory felt enormous. Every meal shared was a celebration. Every laugh lingered a little longer." And then he says, "Love filled the spaces that money couldn't."
That last line, love filled the spaces that money couldn't. And then he describes what happened when the money arrived. The spaces got filled with stuff. The love had nowhere to sit.
That's Ecclesiastes, isn't it? King Solomon, the richest, wisest man who ever lived. He had wealth, power, every pleasure available to a human being. And at the end of it all, he writes, "I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit." Everything. Empty.
Same diagnosis, 3,000 years apart. Solomon had it all and said it meant nothing. Ed built the life he prayed for and said something had quietly changed. The victories became routine. The moments became obligations. Gratitude gave way to expectation.
He says, "We accumulated more, but experienced less." That's the paradox right there. More stuff, less experience. More comfort, less feeling. More security, less life.
There's an old parable that nails this. A businessman sees a fisherman sitting by the dock, relaxing in the afternoon sun. He tells the fisherman, "You should work harder, build a fleet, make a fortune." The fisherman says, "And then what?" The businessman says, "Then you can retire, move to the coast, and sit by the water and fish." The fisherman says, "I'm already doing that."
That's the whole thing, isn't it? We spend our lives running toward a destination we're already standing in. Ed writes that he often wonders if this is one of the greatest illusions of success, that we spend years believing happiness lives on the other side of achievement, only to discover that fulfillment was quietly traveling with us all along.
But here's where it gets honest. Because Ed doesn't just observe the paradox, he tells you what happened to him. He says, "How did I handle it? I didn't."
He didn't. And then he writes the line that I think a lot of people listening are going to feel like he's reading their diary. "Insecurity overtook me. I confused achievement with worth, productivity with purpose, the pursuit of more with the preservation of what mattered most."
That's not a humble brag. That's a confession. He was so busy trying to build a better life that he slowly let go of the very life he was trying to build. And then he says, "In the end, I lost everything that truly mattered. Not the businesses, not the goals, everything that truly mattered."
Harry Chapin told this exact story in a song, "Cats in the Cradle." You know it? A father too busy building his career to spend time with his son. Keep saying, "We'll get together soon." The son grows up, and when the father finally has time, the son is too busy. The ambition doesn't just take from you, it teaches the people you love to do the same thing. It becomes inherited.
That's what makes Ed's essay so devastating. He says, "For a long time, I believed my greatest failures were the opportunities I missed, the businesses that didn't work, the goals I hadn't yet reached. And then the turn. I was wrong."
My greatest failure was believing that the people I loved would always be waiting on the other side of my ambition.
They weren't, and I don't blame them.
That line, I don't blame them, because he knows. Love isn't sustained by good intentions. He writes, it is sustained by presence, by attention, by choosing each other over and over again, while the world constantly invites you to choose something else.
Steinbeck told this story too. In The Pearl, Kino is a poor fisherman. He finds this pearl, the pearl of the world. It's supposed to change everything for his family. And it does. It destroys everything he actually loves. The thing he found to protect his family becomes the thing that tears it apart. The ambition and the love can't share the same house.
That is the lesson Ed says he paid the highest price to learn. And I think what makes it land is who he is now. He's not writing this from a place of bitterness. He survived it. He's rebuilt. He's become someone very different. But he says some lessons leave permanent fingerprints.
He says he's haunted by the possibility that the kind of joy he once experienced may have been a once-in-a-lifetime gift. Not because joy can't return, but because we never get to relive a chapter exactly as it was. Some seasons belong only to the people we were then.
And then he connects it to what we talk about on this show every week. He says, today, I spend much of my life talking about artificial intelligence, technology, and the future of work. I believe deeply in progress. I believe these tools can expand human potential in extraordinary ways.
But he also knows this. The greatest danger isn't that machines become more intelligent, it's that in our pursuit of optimization, efficiency, wealth, and success, we slowly forget what makes us human in the first place.
No algorithm can replace genuine presence. No technology can manufacture belonging. No amount of money can purchase another ordinary Tuesday with someone you no longer get to hold.
An ordinary Tuesday, that's what you lose. Not the big moments, not the milestones. The ordinary Tuesdays. The ones that felt boring when you had them and priceless when they were gone. Thoreau wrote that most men lead lives of quiet desperation and go to the grave with the song still in them. Ed sang the same thing from the other side. The song was playing, we just didn't stop to listen.
He says, if there's one lesson my life has taught me, one I'd spare anyone from learning the hard way, it's this. Nothing on this road is worth losing true love. Not the promotion, not the business, not the recognition, not the money, not the relentless pursuit of becoming someone.
Because one day, you may wake up having accomplished everything you set out to achieve, only to realize you traded away the one thing that made any of it worth achieving in the first place.
Okay. Your move. 3 things you can do this week. Not next quarter, not next year, this week.
First, identify the person who makes your ordinary days feel extraordinary. You know who it is. Call them today, not to talk about anything in particular, just to hear their voice and be present. Don't schedule it, don't add it to a task list. Call them right now when this episode is over.
Second, pull up your calendar for the last month. Count the hours that went to building your career. Now count the hours that went to being present with the people you love. If the ratio scares you, that's the point. Fix it this week, not after the next milestone, not after the next promotion. Now.
Third, write down the last time you felt genuinely, completely full. Not accomplished, full. If it involved another person, go find them. If that season has passed, build the next one with the same intention. Presence over performance. The fisherman was already there. Solomon figured it out too late. Don't wait.
Ed said it better than we ever could. The measure of a life is not found in what you accumulate. It is found in who is still standing beside you when the accumulation no longer matters. Thanks for listening to the Reflect podcast, where we're telling the future. Are you in it? Visit reflectpodcast.com and share your story.
Be present. It's the one thing no machine will ever do for you.
In the cyber ocean of online voices and recycled content, something different has arrived. Reflect isn't just another podcast, it's the future of storytelling, powered entirely by AI. From curating data to assembling thought-provoking ideas, we've redefined how journeys are told. Reflect is a podcast that thinks, learns, and evolves with each episode. Every tale, every insight, crafted by the most advanced AI technologies. A podcast that disrupts the industry, breaking free from traditional formats, taking you on an entirely new experience. So tune in now and reflect. We're telling the future.